Welcome, everyone, to Night City Stargazers. Session 5 already. And good evening, Night City. As all of you go about the end of the week, making your new accommodations for what little home you might have at the moment, skipping out on rent and instead hoofing it on the streets. Harassed occasionally by NCPD to move along. Until you find your next spot, cozy up, and you're told again to move along. It makes sleeping a chore. Until you find that one pile of trash bags that's just soft enough to lay your head down for a couple of hours, smell aside. Maybe the trash collection hasn't been here in weeks, or maybe there just isn't enough trash collection in all of Night City in total. Somebody should get on that. Others of you still have your cozy little apartment, as you maybe have a roommate or other arrangements, or maybe just late on rent to pay the penalties later. But you know that someone comes knocking for the pay eventually. Picking up side gigs and little odd jobs to siphon a little money there, sell something for a little scratch there, here. Render out your services briefly for a client, maybe someone you've had a connection with before and they ask for your help. Either way, being a part of the unemployed of Night City is a tough life. And so, maybe you get a little excited when you get a text message from Octavio. Appears on your HUD for your holo, saying he's got another little something to keep you busy with. More details when you arrive at El Coyote Cojo. So, as you all are going about your business, having done so for the morning, it's afternoon now. Where are you, and what do you do? Whoever wants to go first.
I'll do that. Orvan would be exiting a gas station's bathroom.
To correct you, Chew Station. Gas is no
Chew
longer
station. My apologies.
Fuel source.
I forget that it's a chew station, not a gas station. Little vernacular there. But he's leaving the bathroom having pulled a Slideye and used the sink for a shower. And is making his way down to the meeting spot.
You're slumming it on the streets of Jig Jig Street, much like any other Joy Toy that you see at this moment. Who's to say $100 isn't $100? But
he's not. He doesn't judge.
Maybe a thought crosses your mind that you might get into the Joy Toy business, but maybe you're also too innocent for that, Orvan.
At the thought of the going into the Joy Toy industry, a thought does actually go through his mind. Would they actually be interested in my accent? Or would that be something that they'd edit out?
Well, it's not like you have to be some kind of doll at, a doll club, for instance. You would just pick up whoever comes by, have a good time with them, and let them go.
He could, but he kind of prefers what he's currently doing. Kicking indoors, slaving lives, doing the odd merc job.
And sleeping on the street. It's not the best.
The street part could use some fixing, but silver lining, he could be in a worse position.
And no vehicle of any kind to slum it in either.
He does have his camping set, though, because he's prepared.
You got it rough, Choom. Mechanically speaking, that does mean
looking around him. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yep. That does mean that anyone who has been living on the streets for a moment is at a slight penalty for skill checks in regards to being rather tired, an exhausted state, if you will. And I believe that's a neg to all skill checks for the moment until you get that housing situation rectified and have a proper night's sleep.
That is something that will need to be rectified.
Okay, so you slowly make your way from the streets of the streets of the Little China district towards Haywood. May take you about an hour or two. If you're walking, you could sprint the whole way if you truly wanted to, but would you want to suffer the exhaustion?
No, plus coming in really sweaty and out of breath with all of your gear on you probably won't look the best.
Since this is only the second time that you'll be meeting Octavio in person. Appearances matter, and reputation matters even more. So, let's turn over to Slideye. Slideye, you're roughing it a little bit in the Santo Domingo district of the lovely Night City.
Roughing it, yeah. That's about the size of it. Currently waiting to end up seeing on how this all plays out. Hear about a meeting, get the call. I'm walking the streets where I end up seeing people pass by. Some of them just everyday people. Maybe going off work, hanging out to Moxie's. Others getting their regular injection, trying to end up holding themselves together enough to keep the shakes away. Some peddling whatever they can. Probably jacked some kind of shipping container off of some of the corpo licensed marts around here, trying to end up selling it all in back alleys just to end up turning over a couple of eddies. Meanwhile, you end up having those on the corner are willing to end up giving you a good time for the right pay. Got bullied out of Jig Street because well, let's just say that people tend to get territorial. I see it all. And there's that smell of oil and let's just say other fluids. That's Night City for me. The hope that the next job brings up enough eddies to end up being able to make me whole. Spending all this cash trying to end up making sure that you have the stacks to be able to keep yourself together makes me another gonk in the city. Still. And I try and end up focusing on the work. Problem is in order to get the work, you need the rep. And our last job ended up blowing up in our faces, where we ended up getting barely anything out of it. And the sad truth of it is that what we did end up getting barely ended up covering anything. Everybody else probably at least ended up putting it towards 3 hot in a cot. Me, I'm just trying to end up fighting off a psychotic break. Is even now with me taking half dosage, trying to end up keeping it all at bay. Fact is that I'm cutting just to try and end up being able to end up keeping it all together. And at half dosage, meds don't do what they're supposed to. Maybe it's more for the pseudo-placebo effect. Still, think about Trix, Loup, Med Boy. If this is the crew I'm running with, this is the crew I'm gonna be known for. How long is that gonna last? Do we end in headlines and the scream sheets where people end up remembering us and finish off with a drink at the afterlife, or you just another number for corpse disposal? Night City, more likely the latter than the former. God, I can use a fucking cigarette right now.
Maybe you get a little lucky and find a half-smoked one put out on the sidewalk as you're walking down the streets of Haywood to get to the bar. Maybe just your luck.
Yeah, just my luck. I light it. I know there's nothing more pathetic than a girl picking up their butts off the streets in order to end up feeding the Nick habit. But that's the closest thing to freedom you're gonna get around here. Just the way things are. I think back to my earliest days and how idealistic I was. Now I just feel incredibly stupid. Just got played. But that's the game. The game. I put out the butt before I end up going into the bar. Looking around for familiar faces. Looking around for familiar scenes. Familiar company. Good to have familiar faces. Keeps you grounded. When you're around strangers too much, you start wondering who's gonna pull their piece out. And then, of course, NCPD shows up day late and a dollar short after the shooting stops. And all there is bodies going cold. Plus side, maybe the stray bullet will hit somebody important enough that MedTech will be on the scene. Ironically, faster than the NCPD. So, if you really need somebody to end, or for something to interrupt a shootout, shoot somebody important who's a non-combatant. It's amazing on how fast they move.
Well, Slideye has made it to the bar. Let's find out where Trix is. What's your situation? Give us a little update.
Trix is currently out on her bike, mostly staying around Haywood. Just trying to find anything she could likely sell, get a little bit of extra eddies, maybe small job here or there that wouldn't take too long, wouldn't make much off of it, but it'd be something because she is late on rent. But getting the text in, she's gonna turn and start heading to the bar. Because, hey, bigger payday. She's all for it.
So how are you arriving?
Right on her bike, like she usually does, pulls up to the front and just walks on in, seeing if any of the others are in yet.
Okay. You're probably the one who would arrive the fastest out of all of you. What about Lou?
Well, she's gonna do a couple of things. She's gonna wander out of her apartment late in the morning, resting up as much as she can. Hopefully using this little teensy-weensy bit of time to heal up 1 HP.
Yeah. Healing HP takes a prolonged, like, full day worth of resting, so not gonna get a whole lot out of that, I'm afraid.
Okay. I tried.
It's a good shot, though. Sleeping in as much as you can.
Yeah. She's gonna try and time it for when she thinks she's gonna be able to spot Reagan McAllister.
He does occasionally have his routes that he does.
That's right. You know, making his daily or his weekly pickups and deliveries.
Easily enough. You've tracked him for weeks, maybe months.
She's gonna sort of step out onto the block, appear on the mezzanine, lean out on the railing, and spot him maybe 1-2 floors up. She's gonna put her fingers in her mouth and sort of will flash her shiny chrome teeth and wolf whistle very loudly for him.
You get the attention of plenty of people on a number of floors, as the center of this building is built to echo.
Right. She says, "Hey, Vato. You heard any rumors yet?"
and a number go back to their daily business, as it seems that you are directing your vision towards a particular person 2 floors up. And what do you know? The whistle did catch his attention, as you intended. And what you see from your angle is he was talking to someone briefly, just shakes his head, goes back to his conversation for a moment, and then slowly, as if to maybe make you wait, start making his way down the stairs of the mega building. Vato, huh?
She sticks out her chest and kind of like nonchalantly puts her like hands in her jacket and kind of like dismisses him with a look off to the side, like casting her eyes off to the side. Sorry, Reagan, you got business with me?
I don't know. Do you got business with me?
Maybe later.
Information costs eddies, chica.
I asked you a question.
Something about rumors.
Last session? No, 2 sessions ago. She dropped in on her wards, basically. The kids that she keeps an eye on. She she cleared them of drugs, made sure that they didn't have anything they could hurt themselves with.
Right.
Gave them a few eddies, and asked them to spread the rumors around the block of her and the crew taking care of those scabs.
He's still kind of...
It's been a week now.
Yep. And
she's wondering if he's caught the rumor.
He still kind of looks like you. Make a human perception check.
Done. Yeah, just flat.
Ooh, a 20 is a nice number.
It sure is that.
Sure is that. When you got a 12 as a base, holy cow. Like I said, you've been clocking him for months. You can tell when he gets a little cagey about what he knows, but also doesn't want to clue you into, or maybe you're already clued into, the fact that he's maybe heard a thing or two about, especially since a lot of the kids that you know are pretty loose-lipped for not a lot of cash. And so, while he still questions you like he's feigning, like he doesn't know what you're talking about, it's clear as day. He's trying to lead you on. He's trying to get you to spill the beans.
Absolutely. She gets up in his face and she says, well, you ain't heard nothing yet. And she's gonna do a windmill kick to the cigarette vending machine and try and get it to spit out some cigarettes.
Ooh.
I don't know what kind of roll that is.
I'm gonna
Is
call
that a
that
roll?
a relatively high difficulty brawl check. These things are sturdy.
I'm putting luck on it. I don't even give a shit. I'm gonna put 2 on it.
Okay. Okay. Mm. Okay. Okay. You give the machine a swift kick. And this is a cigarette vending that you're looking for?
Yeah.
Okay. They must make these things pretty solid.
Damn it.
Because even though you do put a dent in the face of it, and you do manage to, while not reducing HP, kind of hurt your foot. And maybe a couple of ennies spit out of the change machine, the change portion of the physical
Okay.
cash receptor. Not enough to make a whole euro buck, but it's a little bit of change.
Tight. Tight. All right. I'm gonna now, in full view of him, put enough eddies in there to buy a pack of cigarettes. Just broadly and stupidly in front of him, like I have no chill whatsoever.
You probably got a $5 in cash, and so you just slide it into the cash slot. It spits out a euro buck back, and you have yourself a full 20-pack of cigarettes. It kind of
Now
whirs.
that
and
would have
whizzes.
been really cool if that had worked, right?
Yes, it would have. Yes, it would have.
No, she said that. She said that to him.
He
Said
says
that to Reagan. Okay, thanks.
me as the DM thinks it would be cool. Him as Reagan walks off shaking his head and says, "Pinche." He's got other things to do than to be not so mildly impressed by a kid kicking a vending machine.
Yeah, she runs off and gets in the truck and goes to meet everybody.
Okay. Well, with that done, you all arrive at the El Coyote Cojo. Pepe is there, serving drinks, as is custom. You see several other patrons kind of sitting at the bar and kind of minding their own business. You know that the second floor is usually where Octavio has his little meets with you. Pepe still eyeing you, Lou, for being too young to even drink in this bar. But since you're here for a meet, he's going to look the other way for a moment.
She says, "Hey, Chickie, nice to see you again, sweetheart."
What is it with you and nicknames?
Hey, at least it's the same one.
Well, unless anyone else has anything else that they're going to do, you all can sit alongside of Octavio.
I would say that Orvan would taking a lesson to heart, have gotten a drink this time.
Okay. You're getting a drink? Are you just getting a beer, or are you getting something else?
He's probably getting a beer.
Okay. And you don't have to worry about spending any extra dollars on that, because that, you know, since we did kind of cover all of your food and stuff, it does allow for you to have a little bit of spending money, so you don't have to worry about knocking anything off of that. Cigarettes, though, yeah, that's a little extra on top of food.
That's preem.
Food and beverage.
Okay, I know where my bread is buttered.
Fair enough. Octavio stands and welcomes you all and to sit down at the booth.
Good afternoon, Octavio.
Buenos tardes, he says, in Spanish. Which, for those who know it, would mean good afternoon. And for those who don't, well, you're SOL. And I think the one who doesn't is Orvan.
Yeah. I think he's the only one who doesn't know it.
Well, did I not put that on the token layer? Yeah, I did. Okay. Roll 20 is just being a goof. But he says, all right, now that you're all here, I do have another gig lined up. Took me a little bit of time to put some things together, but you know, if things had gone a little bit more quietly at the Scav Den, there might have been a little bit more in it for you. I get that. Cost me a little extra money, too. Cost me a little extra money in clients wanting some of their cyberware back. So, it's been brought to my attention that a number of buyers have been purchasing these things on the black market. You know, the kid's Kuroshis that got scooped out of his skull. A few odds and ends, a few cosmetic wear, for what little that sells for. But in particular, that Sandevistan. I'm sure you know about it. You scooped the whole place for information, didn't you?
Yeah, who would we be if we didn't?
You wouldn't be good mercs if you didn't. The client is not the previous owner, obviously. That previous owner is long deceased. But in learning that this cyberware may have gone missing, has gone missing, the client wants it back. Family business and all that. You know what a Sandevistan is, right? For those who want to make a check, you can roll me a cyberware check.
You know what, I'll do it first, shits and giggles.
I'll do a free roll.
Why not?
This. Nope.
Why not? Need to get rid of all of the
Oh.
bad luck.
Ooh. Yeah, that's a good cyber tech. Ooh, that's a crit on cyber tech there, the Loup.
Where is
Nice.
that?
I believe you can use a cyber tech roll. Yeah.
It's under technique.
Thank you.
Okay.
She's a moron, but she's lucky.
I rolled pretty low on that. Oh.
Are you making a check that Slideye?
Oh, you have to.
Why?
Derek don't like rolls.
Because you're the cyber tech.
Derek
the
don't
cyber
like
tech
dice.
one.
Oh,
Roll
no.
it.
Why? Okay, all right.
Roll it, roll it, roll it.
Okay, where are you, Cyber
What's your cyber tech score anyway? Mine was only 5.
Yeah, that's under technique, Derek.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find it. There are so many options under technique.
It should be one of the top 3.
Oh, there we go.
Ooh, that's
Hell
a crit with
yeah.
a
That's
20.
a crit.
Nice.
No, notice
Beautiful.
my tech roll though.
That is
Oh my
A
god.
0 plus 2 plus a d10. You crit on that? How dare you?
huh, interesting.
Damn, dog.
It would make more sense that Orvan would know about it. So.
Is that also at your negative penalty?
No.
Or did that already factor in
you
your
strip
mods?
2. You would strip 2 from. Oh no, it does
So-
factor in my mods because I do have the -2 on all of my characters.
Okay, so Orvan, does yours factor in your mods?
No.
Okay, so it's going to be a -2 on that total roll for you. And
So
Trix,
that would be a 13 on mine.
Yeah, Trix, you're okay. So it's 25, 13, 13, 20. Hot damn. Well, Lou, you wouldn't be a good fixer if you didn't know your cyberware. You wouldn't.
Haha.
There are plenty of things out there that are freely and available to any and all citizens of Night City who want to get chipped. A Sandevistan is not one of them. That's military grade, usually manufactured by either Arasaka or Militech. Either way, it's for their soldiers and not necessarily for the public. So a soldier got picked up by scavs and got his Sandevistan ripped out. And being the very knowledgeable little fixer that you are, you know that that would mean ripping out a person's entire spine. Nasty business. Removal, even surgically, has a risk of death to the patient. That's why it's usually never done. Unless, of course, the patient is already dead. Slideye, you'd know most of that as well. Military. Militech. Or Arasaka. But somebody is missing speedwear. Act a little faster, a little quicker on your feet. Act before anyone else can. And you're like a ghost. It's like you never existed to your opponent. Trix and Orvan, you think you've heard the term before? Definitely sounds obviously like cyberware. Obviously sounds expensive. And maybe Orvan, just given a little bit of your medical profession, you've never seen that on a civilian. Maybe a downed max tac professional, but Never on a civvy. So who's got that little toy? Octavia speaks up again. It doesn't really matter if you do or not. Client wants it back in their rightful hands, and lethal force is authorized. And of course, they know how much it would fetch on the black market, so they're willing to make you a deal. You'll get half its worth in pay. Now, the whole reason that I'm coming to you all with this is because, well, you're my newest set of mercs, and, well, something is my rumor mill kind of ticking that it's been picked up by a gang.
Which one?
Couple of Maelstrom folks out of the docks. Rumor has it. Seen a guy speeding around like he's hopped up on coke.
That figures for Maelstrom.
It also figures for Maelstrom that the thing is probably haphazardly installed and probably, or maybe it's not, and somebody actually knows what they're doing.
It's always Maelstrom.
They got their own rippers. Willing to chip them for a solid buck. So what do you say?
Any idea on the location?
Like I said, the docks. The Arasaka docks.
Oh.
And frankly, you're my most expendable mercs at the moment.
What kind of resistance can we expect? Security? Complications?
Well, you'll probably find them on in some kind of abandoned rig, or maybe in a warehouse somewhere. You might find resistance from them. Arasaka security is nothing to sneeze at either. They might be doing some patrols. What I understand is their patrols are rather light in a particular region. Whether or not it's really none of my business whether Arasaka's in bed with Maelstrom or not. Until it is my business. So it's really just a job to try and prove yourselves. See if you're...
Oh, another chance to prove ourselves. How
Well,
exciting. Lou looks around at her friends and her crew, and she takes the temperature, and she's sort of getting the feeling that, and you guys can nod or shake your heads, that this is kind of an overwhelming job for what we're sort of equipped with, right? Hopped up Maelstrom, Arasaka. We're not exactly swimming in weaponry, right? I've got an idea. I want to run with something, but we're kind of outgunned on this, right?
When it comes to Arasaka, yeah, we are highly underpowered. Maelstrom, Depends.
We could probably take Maelstrom as long as we
Mails-
don't.
Maelstrom with a Sandy?
Yeah.
What's more, I know it's a Sandy. A little bit of table talk, but it's just another piece of speedware. It costs 500 eddies.
We're also talking military grade, which bumps it up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, good point.
Yep. Especially if I remember correctly, it's Arasaka military grade.
Well,
which
since I would
puts
know
it
how much,
way up there.
so since I would know how much that's worth, how much do I know that this would be worth job-wise?
Black market, easily 5,000.
Okay. So now I know what I want to ask for specifically, and more so.
Well, he already said we're getting half.
We're getting half on the completion.
Mm-hmm.
I want an advance so that we can go in there prepared for this fight. We all have hurt bodies, fucked up bodies from laying in the dirt all night. We have busted armor. We have guns that we started this game with. Why don't we get better shit? He's got money and weapons and shit, I'm sure. Why don't I get him to give us some shit? I've got the dough to roll with. I'm going to do that.
Okay. Then I would like you to make a... In that case, let's find...
Do you want me to roleplay it a little bit?
Yeah, roleplay it a little bit, and I'll determine what the...
I'd love to.
What the role would be.
Octavio.
Mm-hmm.
Amigo.
Amiga.
We love the job. We're thrilled with the job. We want to do the job. We want to go after these goons just as much as the next Joe. In fact, Trix here has been looking into this information already. We were already going to hunt these guys down pro bono.
Well, how about that?
Not pro bono. We were going to hunt these guys down on our own dime. All for our own payday. We love that you're going to give us the avenue to make this job work. Now, we're a little tight after the last job. You know this.
Mm-hmm.
Since we're going up against Arasaka and a Sandy-powered Maelstrom, do you have some extra firepower? Not men. Extra guns, extra armor, any kind of things that you can loan to us to help us get over the hump?
In good faith.
Absolutely.
Thankfully, I came prepared for that. So, what are you rocking right now as far as iron? And he's going to go over some specifics and things like that with you. Make me it's a social roll of some kind.
Absolutely.
Let's call it trading.
Oakley dokley. We're gonna add my remaining 4 luck to it.
Okay. Ooh, 19's nice.
19 is nice.
Okay. So what he has available is he can provide you with some special ammunition. For those wanting it, you can you can borrow a very heavy pistol each. Really, who doesn't have what kind? So that I understand where you guys are. You all have a handgun, and Orvan has a shoulder arm, correct?
I have a very heavy pistol and an assault rifle. Well,
I have
Okay.
a very heavy pistol and a heavy pistol.
I have a
Okay.
heavy pistol and an AR with ammo for both.
Okay,
And I've got the medium pistol.
medium pistol. Okay, so Lou, you can pick up a very heavy pistol very easily. Just keep in mind it is just put on whatever markings you want to do that it is a loner. He's going to want it back. Ammunition obviously can't be returned, but he is going to provide you with, I believe very heavy pistols have a maximum of 8 per clip, so he'll provide you with 2 clips. Are any of you wanting assault rifles or SMGs?
Let me go look at my stats real quick.
Because that's going to be a shoulder arm check instead of a handgun check.
Let me look.
Yeah, I really just have proficiency in handgun. Everything else is just a basic check.
Basic reflexes check? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I'm going to be good with both my pistols.
Okay.
But having a backup handgun makes a pretty big difference.
Yep. In that case, he will also send you along with a little extra cash to get your armor repaired, which will take a day. So that's going to be at cost. It's not going to affect your current pocket. And he's providing you the cash with that, so you can go ahead and, if you would like to, go ahead and mark your armor as repaired. Just keep in mind it's going to take the rest of today. So you'll be getting on this job tomorrow. Anything specific that you were looking for, Lou? Anything else specific?
I mean, she can sort of tuck her head in with everybody else and ask for suggestions, right?
Yeah, this is all basically like an out of character negotiation. You're talking about the different things that you
Okay,
want
cool.
and need already. So anyone who
Yeah.
wants to suggest something else to pick up.
So I have an important question.
Mm-hmm.
Does he want this quiet or loud?
He will inform you that it should be quiet.
So we have another quiet job.
Yep. Well,
But lethal
He
force
unders-
is authorized.
he does also understand that Maelstrom can be rowdy on their own. So quiet for Maelstrom.
I think that this
So,
one is like
understood.
we should be quiet to keep our own lives.
Yeah.
So it basically the expected Maelstrom gang firefight.
The expected response is that they are going to firefight you. The
Yeah.
question is with him whether or not it is going to be the scene will be cleanly swept afterwards.
Fair.
As in you're picking up all the bodies, as in you're picking up all of the you're doing what you can to get all of the evidence that you can, such as shards, such as raiding their the network they might have in place there. Anything that you can get your hands on, you grab and you clean out.
Okay.
Okay, so this is more of a clear it job.
Yeah, snatch and grab. And that's snatch and grab everything you can.
Okay. That
That's gonna be fun.
That changes a little bit. That changes a little bit.
He also tells you that he doesn't expect that Arasaka is going to interfere much, but can't guarantee it. Especially based on the fact that you want to perform this job perhaps tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Based
He doesn't
on
have a grenade launcher, does he?
grenade launcher. Ooh, that goes into heavy weapons territory.
Yeah, I was really hoping he'd give us a grenade launcher.
That one I didn't expect. So high or low?
Yeah, we're going low.
Ooh. Turns out he does, but it has a single incendiary grenade.
We love that.
Most he can manage.
We love that.
Anything not returned will also come out of your pocket.
Yeah, it's fine. Beautiful. I'll go fuck me. It's a heavy weapons. Nobody's got good heavy weapons skill.
Heavy weapons,
Unless
yep, is also based off
Orvan?
reflex.
Orvan,
You're asking for my heavy weapons skill.
Yeah, you don't have. Who's got the highest reflex? I guess is my next question.
Heavy weapons skill. Let me go look.
Because my reflex is 6.
Mine is 6 also, but I have nothing in heavy
Okay.
weapons.
I have,
I
nothing
have
in
a
heavy
7 in
weapons.
my heavy weapons.
So do you have,
but no
do you have a
levels.
7 reflex?
No, my reflex. Yes, actually, it is a 7.
I have a
It is
6.
a 7,
Okay.
and you have a 6. Guess who gets the grenade launcher?
The guy with the 7 in reflexes.
This
I've
is
got
going to turn out
I've got
poorly.
the stats pulled up. I can. It's on page 171. I'll put it in the chat.
Perfect.
Hey, Coffee.
Yeah, what's up?
Would Octavio happen to have any flashbangs?
That would also be part of the grenade kit, and he does not have that.
That is disappointing.
Got lucky with the one launcher.
Sorry, I wasted our ask on a total room melting grenade.
I cast fireball.
It is technically a flashbang.
Not
You will
the
fuck
kind
their
I'm
eyes
looking
up.
for.
They won't be able to see for a second.
Well, maybe a second is all you need. But yeah. And that is
Great.
at most what he could spare.
What is his name? What's his name?
Octavio?
Octavio.
Mm.
Thanks. Sick. She says, oh, mucho gracias. Oh, mi amigo. You've done us a tremendous kindness here.
I'm banking on you doing well. It's kind of a gamble on my end. So we'll see what happens. Hey?
Well, you've hedged your bets smartly.
Here's hoping. Because if you start, if you're not careful, Padre's gonna start noticing you.
Hunter?
Oh, don't want him to notice us in a bad way.
No. No.
Padre is a very vengeful man, if you get on his bad side.
Yeah, I've heard stories.
Would
We don't
Orvan
want
have
that.
known about Padre?
Orvan, that would be a streetwise check.
Because I don't know. Let's see.
Orvan hasn't really had successful streetwise so far, so we'll find out.
Who knows? Maybe this is the one fixer he actually knows of. That would be under social?
Yeah, social.
This is something I have a 3 in.
Oh Christ.
Well, that's
Let's
a 10.
see. It's not the worst.
And it's also not the best.
You want me to throw in on it?
Lou, if you
Well,
want
this
to.
is personal knowledge.
Yeah. Lou, I imagine that you have heard some of the rumors, which a 14 will tell you that, yeah, he's one of the bigger fixers, bigger than Octavio.
Got it.
But he's a known fixer to you. He just
Okay.
has no time for ill-equipped and ill-begotten children.
Mm-hmm.
As much as he is family oriented and that he considers much of Haywood to be his domain, in a sense, he also has no time for mercs who would get killed on the job. He only asks for the best of the best. Maybe something to aspire to. To be on Padre's little black book. But maybe that's some giddy heights for you. Right now, you have Octavio. And yourself, of course. You having your own little jobs that you can do. So, anything else you need? Octavio says to you, leaning on the table with the one elbow on it, sucking on a cigarette himself.
She looks around the table and makes sure that everybody looks just as happy as they can be, and says, "No, Octavio, I think we're ready to rock."
Well, good. Look at your weapons and your armor tonight. And I suppose you'll be ready to say hello to our little friend in the morning.
Mañana.
I would suggest the cover at nightfall, but, well, you kids maybe can't see at night.
And nightfall's expected. Early morning isn't.
This is true.
They might be hungover.
Or they might be high on their own supply.
More likely that.
Yeah.
Who knows what else besides, black lace and among other things you find them hopped up on. If you're
Yeah.
lucky.
Just them,
Anything
though.
and everything under the sun?
Sorry, what, Trix?
I said anything and everything under the sun?
From the legal to the illegal. Well, I'll leave you to it then, so that you can plan your heist. And if it turns out that you're all dead, well, you're all dead.
And we won't owe you a dime.
No, we would owe him money. He'd have to clean up our mistake.
Thanks, Orvan.
Can you charge a ghost money?
Yes. Your estate and everything it owns would be null and void, and what little you do have will be sold off for whatever Eddie's going to be scraped by. And you'd likely be buried in a ditch.
Can we discuss the nuances of estate sales and planning maybe some other time?
That was for the corpo in the room.
I deserve that.
Certainly don't want little sister to have to pay for your debts now, do you?
That gets a glare. But he says nothing.
Octavio gets up from the table, starts to walk away.
Octavio,
Slideye.
I respect your position, given this whole kerfuffle and the need for the job. We'll end up seeing what we can end up getting done about those Octavio implants. But it stands in everybody's best interest. Keep a level of professionalism
Of
at all
course.
times. Good. You want us to do the job right? It's probably best we're not focused on details that don't involve the job.
You're right.
Do you understand me?
Where are my manners?
Good. If I have to work with him, I need his head in the game. I would appreciate an apology in good faith. After all, you're asking me to get some eyes for you.
I'm sorry. What was it? Medboy?
That is the name I have been given.
Good. I'm so glad that we can end up being amenable. We gotta focus on getting you those eyes back.
Among other
This-
things.
We'll focus on the eyes. You don't want us bringing back an entire Arasaka truck back to your doorstep.
Only if it has a Sandevistan attached.
Well, I'll hold you to that. Because if Arasaka's samurais end up showing up, well, that's not part of our contract.
I don't expect you to go against Saka ninjas. You'd get killed. Outright. The reason I'm even having you go after these junkies is you might succeed.
And we're expendable. Like you said.
Like I said.
Be well.
You too. And he starts to walk away.
Lou
Trix is gonna lean
slides
back
a
in her
pack of
seat
cigarettes over.
Oh, you're talking at the same time.
Go on.
Sorry. Lou slides a pack of cigarettes over to Slideye.
She takes one and immediately lights up.
Trix just leans back in her seat. I almost missed doing all the smaller shit for him. Not as life-threatening, but
Mad Boy, I'm sorry that you had to end up engaging in that bit of unpleasantness.
Upon you saying that, he's visibly looking down, and this is pretty obvious because you're all pretty much next to him. He's physically shaking as his hand is clenched and takes a breath. I owe you, Slideye.
Yeah, you do. But that's for another time.
Well, it seems we will be having to wait until the morning. Might I offer some cooking?
Never refused a hot yet.
And I do have a question for Trix.
Hmm?
May I crash on your couch?
I was like, where are you gonna cook it? Where are you gonna cook it, Orvan? Where are you gonna cook it?
You know what? Sure. Place is gonna be small, but
Upon you asking where was he gonna cook it, he pulls up a portable campfire.
No, no, no. Lou has a kitchen.
Must be nice.
Yeah, well. Lou says, oh, God. All right. Everybody in the truck. You're coming back to my place. I don't want to hear 2 words about it. If you
I'll
can make
I'll
friends
just
with the
meet you
dust
there.
bunnies. All right. Sounds great. Oh, Jesus Christ.
All right. You all hop into Lou's truck, head back to the mega building of Haywood, use the elevator and climb some stairs to get up to her apartment. She unlocks the door, walks you all in, and to no surprise to you, Lou, your roommate, Jessica, is flopped out in her cot.
Not Jessica. Not that bitch Jessica.
Sam's friend. The one who needed space. The one who needed a room. Not that you have a room, per se. It's just a cot in a corner.
She slams her fist on the wall and turns the big overhead light on, and she kicks the absolute shit out of a tower of smash cans.
Fuck.
They're hers. Like, don't get it twisted. They're not Jessica's. This is her mess.
No,
But,
yeah,
like,
yeah. You're intending
she's
to make
very
a whole
proud
lot of
of
noise.
this. Exactly. She's like, Jessica, we've got company.
And she is in naught but a t-shirt and just kind of flips in the cot, almost nearly falling out. Her hair is kind of this messy mop of somewhat curly red hair. She's pretty when she cleans up, which is rarely. She rolls over. You see that there's, things of, various energy drink, accoutrement all over her bed. You see that half of her clothes are strewn about in her corner. The other half is in the closet, maybe. And she kind of looks a mess, like she's had a long night. And you know she enjoys toys.
I mean, she pays her third of the rent, so I'm not mad about it.
That's if she's not making Sam do it.
Oh boy.
Lou, how many am I cooking for, by the way?
Oh, you don't gotta feed her.
Who the fuck?
Look, honey, I got friends over. You can take a hike if you want.
What, go out now? It's fucking 3 in the afternoon.
Well, you can go stargaze at the one lonely ball in the sky.
Like I've got the money for that.
Come on, it'll be good for you. Give you something to look at when your eyes are closed.
Fuck you.
I see
would it-
there is no love between you two.
Jessica gets up. You see that she's gathering up some clothes. She has very little in the way of modesty, I guess one would call it. And Slideye, this you might pick up on this a little bit. She has been a little chipped up for a little bit of beauty's sake. Make me a cyber tech roll.
Sure. Sorry, still learning now.
Ooh, that's a crit on a 17.
Wow!
Wow.
Crit on a 17.
I'm retiring after this game.
I think you found your system, man.
Derek,
Uh.
you gotta retire after this.
The Derek Dice curse
So-
has not found you today.
Don't jinx it!
Okay.
Everybody's rolling crits today, it looks like. I mean, what the fuck?
We
This
changed
is-
it from a D10 to a coin.
So, crit on a 17. You kind of look her over. I mean, you know beauty mods. You've had a few done yourself. They're usually pretty quick and painless, and usually, to your delight, able to make you look like whoever you want, with the face, the body, the whatever you decide on. But you take one look at her, and those aren't installed right. Something about them's off. Normally what you would do for a beauty mod is you would hide some of the underlying sort of attach points. This is shitty work. It's a common occurrence amongst joy toys.
Yeah.
Shitty work done by shitty rippers.
Happens a lot. It's just kind of the market. You wouldn't be a joy toy if you had fun little tidbit about joy toys. Most of them just give them an order. Get them the right plugs. They make you feel like you're being treated like a princess with all the mods you can handle. Usually second stringers being refurbished. Looks as good as new. Hey, who am I to complain, but then it's installed on the cheap. And Joy Toy Ripper Docs work cheap because, well, they're mostly working in bulk. And then they try and pass it off as art. You know, if there's one thing I hate more than some kind of corpo flunky, it's gotta be the Ripper Docs who have an inflated sense of their self-importance. At least the corpo can end up saying they're doing it for the money, and that has some kind of practical goal. The person who's all about the art, just trying to build up an inflated sense of their self-importance, especially when they're doing that to human beings. Human flesh at the cost of ego. But I know that world all too well. And looking a little closer. And I purposely get a little bit invasive. Not so much the intimidation, but very clearly, like I'm just kind of observing things.
You see her kind of twinge to one side briefly as she's picking up some clothing off of the floor. Lou, did you pick up dinner at least?
Did I pick up dinner?
Yeah, for the...
I'm sorry, are you my stray? Do I feed you? Do I walk you? Do I shampoo you? Do I scratch you behind the ear now?
You could have just said no, bitch. She goes
No, bitch.
She just sighs and goes towards the bathroom to go and put some clothes on.
And put some clothes on.
Fuck you. She closes the bathroom door behind her.
Sick of this shit. Where's Sam at anyway?
On a job.
Fuck. Out there working these fucking techie jobs by himself. I'm gonna send him a message, I guess.
Okay.
Not about her, just how's he doing?
Okay. We'll come back to that in a second. Slideye, you were going to do something?
Thanks.
Yeah. I knock on the bathroom door after a minute, after I figure if she can at least end up putting on some goddamn underwear.
The fuck do you want? She opens up the door and realizes it's you. Oh. Sorry.
No. It's okay. She pulls out the pack of smokes given to her by Lou, taps one out. I was wondering if we can talk.
She takes one. And the lighter you may offer, and she lights it up. Sure.
I sit on the sink of the bathroom. Well, not really sit, more lean. I'm terrible with names. They call me Slideye.
Jessica.
Jessica. I'm sorry for all the unpleasantness, but hopefully at least a little bit of a nicotine rush can take off some of the edge.
It's just my luck. She must have got up on the wrong side of the bed.
Maybe. I have a thing about implants. Notice yours.
I noticed yours too. It's pretty obvious with the glowing
Cosmetic.
tattoos.
Keeps the attention off the more important stuff, really. Like installing tits.
Well, I've been blessed with real ones, so I guess I'm lucky.
Mm-hmm.
She kind of brushes past you a little bit towards the sink so that she can wash her face.
And if I'm reading the situation right, you're telling me that these aren't installed properly, right? Like these mods so
yeah, just to
I'm going
maybe slightly.
Yeah.
Not enough to hamper her at the moment, but definitely look a little off, like they're maybe not positioned quite right.
Your left shoulder is tensing. Happens when the panels are pressed together. C2 coupling isn't designed to end up handling the branded cosmetic mods that you're carrying. You know, everybody wants to have proprietary, and that includes the coupling.
She looks over at you. You some kind of techie?
No, just had a lot of work done.
Yeah.
So
Raises up from time to time. It's nothing new.
I know this is insensitive to ask, but it lets me understand the situation. Your pimp is the one who ends up here paying for the mod installation, or is that you?
I work it off.
So it's your pimp. Okay.
She looks away a little bit and maybe some shame. Is it that obvious?
Cosmetic mods, when done on a whim, most people try and get one or two to make it all work. With you and me, something else. Designer body for a designer experience for everybody except the doll, right?
Anything to make a couple Eurobucks, I guess.
I do what you gotta do.
20 eddies is 20 eddies.
20 eddies isn't gonna get you a new shoulder.
No. And neither is waiting around here.
No. But
It's all
I
I'm
know a
good for
Ripper
anyway.
Doc. Now that is a lie. And you know it. It's a comforting lie. It's a lie you tell yourself because it means you don't have to worry about anything else except coming to work the next day. Plugging in, upload whatever the user experience wants. And
if
then
you're that lucky.
come to.
That's tall, so you find it clouds.
Yeah. But what do you want to do? Not what do you have to do. I mean, what do you want to do?
I think that is a very personal question. She sucks on the last of the cigarette. Puts it
Sure.
out on the sink.
But
Goes to brushing her hair.
besides, like you said, they're real. And you can do a lot more. Besides, if you're going to get installed, at the very least, do it so it doesn't impact your experience either. I know a Ripper Doc who can give it a quick look over. I don't imagine it'll be hard to end up doing a slight modification on a coupling. Works relatively cheap if you know what you're doing. At the very least, you can sleep on that shoulder.
When I've got the scratch, I'll let you know.
Don't worry about the scratch. Just tell them Slideye sent you. Sometimes it helps to know somebody who's a bleeding heart.
Flick me his deeds. I'll send him an email.
Good. I don't need to end up seeing bad panel work. There's enough of that in Night City as it is. If you're gonna be a professional doll, least you can do is look the part, right?
Right. She finishes by putting on a jacket, kind of